All right, we've got more big names that are jumping into the transfer portal and some names that could possibly become big next season, sort of like we saw happen with Denise Morrow once she transferred over to LSU. But the biggest name of them all so far to jump into the transfer portal, probably the biggest one that we'll hear this season. Taniyah Latson has officially entered the transfer portal. She was the leading scorer in the country this year. She put up 25.2 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 4.6 assists. No bucket was bigger than that game winner we saw versus North Carolina. That was my favorite highlight this season by anybody. Now, what I'm reading is that she's going to keep her options open, which means there's a chance that she returns to Florida State. I personally don't see it happen, but we'll find out once she makes that announcement where she goes. I know that she's represented by Clutch Agency, which is the same agency that represents Juju Watkins, LeBron, and others, in case you didn't know. So, one thing I do know for sure is she's going to get a big bag. And she deserves it, definitely. She put up 21 points as a freshman, followed that up the next season with another 21 point scoring average. So for her to jump up to 25 in her junior year, I mean, she's definitely put in the work. Whoever gets her knows that she's a consistent volume scorer and pretty efficient as well. Obviously, I would love to see her end up with USC, but you guys let me know what you think, because, yeah, any school would be lucky to have her, and she could fit into any system, honestly. She's ready to go. Pretty much a plug and play player. She's not the only big name to enter the transfer portal, though. We also have Kiyomi McMiller, one of the most electrifying guards in the entire country for sure in the freshman class this season. She averaged 18.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, 3 assists, and about 4 highlights per game. She can shoot it from deep. She can get to the rack. Floater game is crazy. Probably one of the best floaters I've seen by any guard in any era. She's probably the first name this season that started to get floated around as a potential transfer. We all know about the situation that she had earlier this season when she was sat out of the game versus USC and other games as well following that. But if you don't know, I'll leave a link at the end of this video to the video that I did when it happened earlier this season, and you guys kind of catch up on that. But that's neither here nor there. What we do know right now is that she will be leaving Rutgers. Unlike Taniyah Latson, where she's leaving the possibility open to return to Florida State, we know for a fact Kiyomi McMiller will not be returning to Rutgers. I think that's pretty clear. I was surprised that she even went there in the first place, honestly, seeing as how she was signed to Jordan Brand as a high school player. Rutgers, they are an Adidas school. They wear the 3 stripes right there on their chest. Will that play a part into what school she picks? We'll see. Some big schools that are outfitted by Jordan would be UCLA and Michigan. They're both pretty set at the guard position. But you also have North Carolina. You have Oregon. I think she'd be a great fit at Oregon. Me personally, I think that the best fit for her, just in my opinion, would be Kentucky. She can step right in, fill that void that's left by Georgia A. Moore. I think Kenny Brooks has the personality and the coaching style that will fit well with Kiyomi McMiller. We already know that he's comfortable putting the ball in his guard's hand. We saw Georgia A. Moore cooking. So, yeah, I think that would be a great fit. But, I mean, there's a lot of teams that could benefit from having her. So we'll see where she lands. Those two are not the only bucket getters on this list. We also have Gal Revive. She averaged 17.9 points, 5.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists as a freshman, 5'9 freshman guard. She's into the transfer portal. We also have Maya Jacobs, 6'2 junior forward, transferring out of Fresno State. She put up 18.3 points, 10 rebounds, 2 steals, and shot 38% from the 3-point line last season. With that size, that kind of versatility, I can imagine a lot of teams will actually be lined up to get her as well. Laura Ziegler, another 6'2 forward. She was a junior. She put up 17.5 points, 10.4 rebounds, 4.3 assists. Now, look, there were only 13 players that averaged over 15 points and 10 rebounds last season, and I just named 2 of them. So, these 2 players that I just named, Maya Jacobs and Laura Ziegler, they're going to be hot commodities in the transfer portal this season. We have another great forward here who put up a double-double but fell just short of that 15-point mark, Gift Uchenna. 6'3 junior forward, 14.5 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks. She's transferring out of Southern Illinois. Now, I know that a lot of us had Cody McMahon being a good fit to go to LSU, but when you look at these rebounds and the fact that she actually adds rim protection as well, I think Gift Uchenna would be a good player to replace Anissa Morrow. We'll find out where she actually lands once she makes that announcement, and of course, I'll be back with that information as soon as I get it. But we're not done. We have more big forwards who put up big production last season. Sophie Glancy, 18.1 points, 9.6 rebounds, 1.8 blocks last season. Anybody interested in that? 6'2" junior forward, shot just under 50% at 49.3 last season from the field. So that's another great forward. Not the last one on this list at all, because we also have Kiera Willer, 6'1" senior forward. We have a grad transfer here who put up 15.8 points, 8.9 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks. A lot of rim protection on this list. There's a lot of defense on this list to go along with these high points and high rebound totals that they put up last season. We have somebody who didn't quite put up as many points but has a really high ceiling as a freshman, 6'2" Diana Mendez, only 8.3 points, and I say only just compared to the rest of the people on this list, but 8.3 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.3 assists. She's a really athletic forward that you can bring into the program and have for a few years potentially, seeing as how she was just a freshman. On the other end of things, we have a senior, 5'6" senior guard, Ashley Hawkins. She averaged 18.9 points, 4 rebounds, and 4.9 assists last season. Shot 33% from the three-point line. So if there's anybody interested in a veteran, long-range bomber, this would be the player that you could look into. We also have Catherine Albin, 5'7" junior guard, who averaged 16.6 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 1.6 assists. Not a whole lot of passing there. She's a bucket. She's a bucket getter. 42% from the field. Not the most efficient, but definitely gets it done. This is a player that is very efficient, though. Amarachi Kempson, the 5'8" sophomore guard, 14.5 points, 2.9 rebounds. But look at these field goal percentages: 37.4% from the three-point line, 50% from the field. And again, this is a 5'8" sophomore guard that's shooting over 50% from the field with some volume. She's definitely a baller. Some of these names are starting to get crazy. I had Sarah Williams and Jalen Brown right there at the top of the list. Now I'd have to say Tanaya Latson rightfully has that top spot as far as transfer portal players. But depending on what you need, it's out there. It's out there for a lot of teams. Probably looking to see another very competitive season next year. This one's still not over with, right? And we're already looking at a great season coming up next year. So I can't wait. I can't wait to find out where they're going. I can't wait until they hit the court again next season. I can't wait until tomorrow when the tournament picks back up, because starting to go through a little bit of basketball withdrawal, even though it's Major League Baseball's opening day. So once we hear more news about the transfer portal, I'll be back with that news for sure. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Make sure more people see this video and it gets pushed out to the algorithm. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.